lived-in precision, and empowering concept. Hair fashion continues to be told through a visual and wearable stories. Shake up the imagination. Think past happy eras, the roaring 20s, the summer of love in the 60s, and the loved-up rave scene of the 80s. Consumers will seek out looks that stimulate and make proactive or confident statements. Rise up and rediscover the joy in design. Embrace the opportunity, and most of all, have fun.
Twyla will be demonstrating the L, a vintage-inspired look with 3D waves. Many times when we work with clients that have long hair with high density, very thick, it's hard to get waves that last. Twyla is going to show us how to work through the hair in this specialized set that turns beach waves on its side to give us long-lasting shape and curl. The model's hair has been preset and dried with Iron Shape 11 in it, but Twyla will continue to use Iron Shape 11 section by section. The benefit of this is that Iron Shape 11 is a heat memory styler, but also with heat protection, which is so important when we're working with our client's hair. You can see that she's already preset most of the hair, so that now we can just focus on the details of the technique that she uses to complete this set. Working from approximately below the parietal ridge, this might depend on the client's density. We want to subsection this so we're working in horizontal sections that are about 1 to 1.5 inches long and about 1 to 1.5 inches wide. Once you've identified the section, spray with Redken's Iron Shape 11 through the length of the hair. Make sure you use your comb to comb it through to evenly disperse the product. Twyla will be using the Samvia 2-in-1 Marcel iron, but notice she's taken the blade off. This iron has so much versatility in the way it can be used. It can either flat wrap with the blade attached as a traditional iron, but gives you the 2-in-1 with the ability to remove the blade. Now, Twyla is using what you've probably used before, a beach wave curl. Holding onto the hair and wrapping it as it twists to create an organic soft finish. But notice the direction. Typically, you might be using beach waves with vertical iron placement where the iron actually points down towards the floor. Think about the principles of lines and volume. As Twyla is changing the direction of this iron to a horizontal placement, it's going to give more volume. This is what's going to help our clients who have high density long hair get curls and vintage waves that last for a long time. From this top view, you can again see how Twyla is placing this beach wave in with a horizontal line. With vintage waves, we wanted to have peaks and valleys. You'll see this as Twyla brushes the hair out. But the key is how this flat wraps and then twists around the hair. When it twists, it's going to create the crest of the wave. When it flat wraps, it's going to create the valley. Every time she wraps the hair around, it automatically alternates between flat versus twisted. This is what will give her the peaks and valleys and control the wave set that she wants to have happen. Another tip to help make this look last is as you curl, be sure to set it and let it cool in place with your set clips. Continue up to the center top of the head. Remember, you're using sections that are 1 to 1.5 inches long and about 1 to 1.5 inches wide. Consistency of this section will ensure that you have consistency in the wave throughout the whole head shape. If you take larger sections, you'll see less wave and curl. If you take smaller sections, you'll get tighter and higher, more voluminous curls. Notice how Twyla is elevating the hair. The rules of elevation are the same in upstyling as they are in hair cutting. The higher we elevate, the softer will the result be when it falls back into natural falling position. The lower the elevation, the more crisp the finish will be when it lays into natural falling position. This is a great visual of the flat versus the twist. Now, Twyla isn't having to put any work into that. It's just the natural movement as she holds on to the tail of the hair and wraps it around the iron. Have you ever spent so much time setting a client's hair with curl, and then when you brush it out, it almost immediately collapses? That happens to all of us. When that does happen, it's a good time to review what steps we took to set the foundation. Did we use the right product for the client's density? Did we use the right tool to match their texture? Did we have the right placement or the right amount of hair in the tool we were using to ensure that that style held? Whenever we're doing these types of looks or sets, it always comes back to the foundation. Sometimes it takes more time, but it's best to start slow to go fast. If you take the time in the foundation, then the finish will be simple. Let's watch Twyla do this curl another time. Holding the iron horizontally, there's the flat wrap. Now you can see where it twists. Flat to twist, flat, twist, flat, twist. This is what makes the peaks and valleys of these vintage waves so simple. Done in one movement, it makes it easy to get to that end result. This is truly an example of minimal work for maximum impact. Watch Twyla as she completes the other side. What do you notice is different about how she's holding the iron? Yes, it's not horizontal. Now the iron's more vertical. How do you think that will affect the shape? Notice how the volume is already lower as it connects to the hairline. Mastering the principles of lines will give you creative control over how you want the finished look to end. Now we have this finished set, which is simply beach waves turned to its side. Understanding the principles of lines let us know that horizontal placement of these beach wave curls will give us more volume. When we have clients with long, thick, heavy hair, we need to think about what technique or empower ourselves with the principles of understanding lines and curl placement to ensure that their style lasts. This is where the horizontal set comes to benefit this look. Now notice how Twyla is combing this set out, section by section. This is very visual. You'll also see her on occasion step back and take a look at what she has happening in the hair. She She's not taking large sections and brushing through it with a brush. She's using her hands and she's using the wide teeth of her comb to give control and a visual appeal to what she wants to have happen. She's intentionally placing each section of hair on top of the other, and you can see how the peaks and valleys of the waves are starting to collapse into each other. Take your time with this part. Have you ever thought of your hairspray actually being a styling tool rather than a styling product? Think about it. With Twyla's canister of hairspray, she's actually using it to define the peaks and valleys in this look. Now the canister is round, it's cool to the touch, so it's actually going to help close down the cuticle and polish and shine the shape in addition to defining the waves. Sometimes our most unconventional tools are the ones that give us the most impact. As Twyla moves to the front of the hair, watch the visual process she goes through. Now notice Twyla first combs through the section with the wide teeth, grasping it with her hand and giving it a little pull. What she's doing is allowing the wave to collapse into the previous section. Here's the stretch. Now watch her wiggle it just a bit to pop it into place so it forms right into her previous section. Beautiful. Setting the hair as she works. Not maximum hold spray. You want something that's movable. And again, unconventional tools to give us incredible results. Just like we used the set clips to set each one of those curls so they had the opportunity to cool down to give us maximum hold, Twyla will now use the Samvia dry sectioning clips to further secure this set. These clips are perfect for this use because they have that piece of elastic within the clip. So while you're getting a firm, tension set hold, it's leaving no mark or indentation in the hair. A final finish with your favorite Redken finishing spray. And visually connect with this shape. Use your hands to manipulate the look to further emphasize the wave. Look at your client's face shape. How do the waves emphasize her features? Loving this look, the simplicity of it. But remember, it's all about the setup. And here we have the L, vintage-inspired 3D waves. This hair isn't falling flat anytime soon. How will you be inspired? Choose the right techniques and, as always, the right tools so you can create something incredible.